Hi, it's Josh Goldberg here. Welcome back to the channel, and today I wanted to briefly talk about resistance thoughts and intrusive thoughts. So just a quick disclaimer, this is not peer-reviewed research and this is not published, okay? This is just my own take on intrusive thoughts and resistance thoughts based on a lot of experience with clients and my basic psychology education, and also some Jewish teachings that I've learned over the past few years, okay? So intrusive thoughts and resistance thoughts. Now, I encounter a lot of resistance thoughts and intrusive thoughts with clients who are going through the healing process of emotional healing from past trauma and past abuse. And the way I would describe it is that human beings were created in a way where the brain will naturally try and protect the self from pain, okay? So it's like, for example, seasickness. Okay, a person can go out onto a boat and, the ocean can have a very slight rockiness and the person can become ill, okay? So what happens is that the brain is trying to protect the person from a perceived threat or poison, and the person can become nauseous and vomit, okay, become seasick. Now, is the person actually in danger? Okay, if the water is just rocking a little bit, they're swaying from side to side, the person is not actually in any danger or in any form of path of harm, okay? So the person is nowhere near getting hurt, but the brain has a program where it tries to protect the person, and therefore the brain will make the person ill in order to try and save them from a poison or a threat or a harm that doesn't exist. So the same is true with emotional poison, okay, with unpleasant emotions from past trauma or past abuse. Okay, these emotions, especially from childhood or from past relationships that were abusive, emotions can be very painful, and the person stores them and dissociate from them, repress them, and the brain will naturally try and protect the person from feeling these very painful emotions. And the brain actually has a program where it will create thoughts that are intrusive, that are a means of distraction for the person to not feel these very unpleasant emotions. So these are intrusive thoughts, and a lot of the times also they're very far-fetched thoughts. A lot of the times they're cognitive distortions, okay? So thoughts that don't have any proof or don't make any sense, and just generally being very busy in the brain, having a very active brain is a very, very, very common symptom of having unresolved emotional pain, okay? So this is the brain's program of trying to protect the person from feeling these very unpleasant emotions. So is the person actually in any danger from these emotions? The answer is no, okay? Are they at a risk of any harm? And the answer is absolutely not, okay? It's just a program. The brain has a lot of defense mechanisms that are more or less like thought patterns or programs. And the problem is when people get so used to these thought patterns and they get so into these thoughts that they're very convinced by them, and they've been dealing with these thought patterns for a very long period of time, it's very hard for them to separate from them. So this is intrusive thoughts and resistance thoughts. I have a lot of clients that when we start doing emotional work, when they start reconnecting to their emotions and labeling them and experiencing them and feeling them, they will get a lot of intrusive thoughts, a lot of resistance thoughts, which kind of stem along the paths of like thoughts of skepticism, like this is stupid, why am I doing this, this is not going to work. Emotions are, very weak. This is rubbish, this is nonsense. Okay, so skepticism is a very common intrusive thought and resistance thought when a person is healing. The other thoughts generally can be along the path of disbelief, like this is not going to work, or fear. Okay, like this is dangerous. This is scary. This goes against my core beliefs. What are you doing? I can't do this. Okay, this is the brain's way also of trying to protect the person from their unpleasant emotions. Okay, so this is very common. I see this all the time when clients come to me and in the early processes of my 5-stage program, when the client is reconnecting to their emotions and labeling them and trying to experience them, the brain will send a lot of intrusive resistance thoughts to try and stop that from happening. So resistance thoughts and intrusive thoughts are actually a good sign if they increase when you're on the path of healing and trying to get back in touch with your emotions and to experience emotions and to let unpleasant emotions go. But the way to deal with them, okay, I have a program and exercises that actually aid a person in dealing with these resistance thoughts so that they're able to get to their emotions and to experience them and validate them and release them, so they're not carrying this unpleasant emotional energy any longer. So if you have any questions on intrusive thoughts and resistance thoughts, thought patterns, please feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, my program does have very effective exercises that are not easy, but they're very effective in separating and identifying these intrusive thoughts and these resistance thoughts that are just the brain's program of trying to protect the person from feeling unpleasant emotions. And the exercises are revolved around identifying these thoughts and going around them, which is very tricky, but I've got a process and an exercise that is effective in the person actually doing that. Okay, so if you have any questions on this, if you have your own experience with intrusive thoughts or resistance thoughts, please comment below. We would love to hear about it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for future content, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos.